This is Alma, and welcome to my book journey. And today I have quite a long video, I think, for you today. I am really excited because today I'm going to be talking about my TBR for this coming month, February. And I have a lot of books here in front of me that I have high ambitions. I'm very ambitious to see if I can get some of these books in, or most of these books in. I have, like I said, quite a few, but a lot of them have to do with some challenges that I'm doing this year, and then also a readathon that I'm participating in. So let's see. I'm going to have my notes down here. So if I look down, that's why. So the first thing I want to talk about are the books that I'm going to be doing that are part of like the yearly challenges. And so I just realized as I was going through my notes, I'm actually doing 5, but one is like a quarterly one, so it's not every month. So that's helpful. So the first one is Chantels challenge that she has, and her prompt for February is read a book that is under, and I'm going down, you can see I'm going down this line here, and it's the Doyle line and a route. And for February, it is read a book under 250 pages. And so for that book, or for that prompt, I am going to read Chronicles of Narnia, The Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe. You know, this one says book 2, and I've often heard, and I have the whole set. So if you let me know, I thought this was the first book, but actually it's The Magician's Nephew, I guess. But I've heard people read this one first too. That they read this one first, or maybe it doesn't really matter. But if you want to comment below and let me know, should I read the other one first or this one? I'm going to read one or the other because they're short books. So, and then this is going to count for another prompt that I have too. So there's that one. And then the next challenge is Katie's from Paperbacks and Ponytails. And for hers, for February, is mode of transportation on the cover. And so for that prompt, I'm going to be doing The Librarian of Boons Hollow by Kim Vogel Sawyer. And so this one is about a young girl during the Depression who is part of the librarians on horseback and going from town to town. And right now my daughter and I are doing a unit study that's based around this time period, and they talk about the librarians that go around town too. So I wanted to read a historical fiction that dealt with that. And so this is Christian fiction as well as historical fiction. And then, like I said, and the reason I'm picking this is because I don't know if you can see, there's a little horse there, and that's the mode of transportation. So there's that one. So I'm looking forward to read this one. I know Katie really, really liked this, so I'm looking forward to reading that book. And then the next one is from Jane Reed's, her Christian fiction reading challenge. So for February, she chose, her prompt is choose a past favorite Christian book. Now, I just recently got back into reading Christian fiction, so I don't have a lot of past favorites. Well, I do, but I just read them last year. So I didn't want to read a book that I've already read recently. So she did give us some bonus prompts where if we didn't like the prompt for that month, we can switch it out. So she gave us 3, and I'm going to choose a favorite author. And so a favorite author that I had this past year is Gabriel Meyer. And Gabriel Meyer wrote When the Day Comes and In This Moment. And they were both excellent books. So she's become a favorite author of mine. So I looked in my shelves, and I actually have 2 books by her that I'm going to have to pick one. So this one is called The Soldier's Baby Promise. It's Love Inspired by Gabriel Meyer. And this says, it says, resolved to keep his promise, Lieutenant Nate Marshall returns to Timber Falls to look after his first love, the widow of his best friend, who was killed in the line of duty. Grieving mom, Adley Wilson, is overwhelmed by her bee farm, her grandfather-in-law who lives with her, and her new baby. But accepting Nate's help may just be the lifeline she needs. So that sounds really good. So that's a possibility for that prompt. And then I originally just thought I'd read that one, but then I remembered I had picked up another Gabriel Meyer book. And this one is called, it's from the Secrets of Grandma's Attic series, maybe. And it's called Buttoned Up. And this one says, it's a new school year, and Amy Allen is excited about teaching at her old elementary school and helping her soon-to-be adopted kids adjust to their new community. She's not quite as excited when the principal asks her to handle the Parent-Teacher Association finances and step in at the last minute to coordinate a huge carnival. It doesn't take long for Amy to discover that proceeds from past fundraisers and donations are mysteriously missing from the school's accounts. But who would steal money from little kids? Has someone been cooking the books in Canton Elementary's PTA? That's kind of interesting too. It's going to be hard for me to, I might have to flip a coin unless somebody has read both of these and can tell me which one to pick. But definitely my favorite author prompt will be Gabriel Meyer, and then I'll read one of these too. Okay, moving on to the next reading challenge that I'm participating in this year is Oshina's. And now she gave us a bunch of prompts, and she did say this year you didn't have to go in order. You could just pick one from that. And so this, I'm going to actually pick prompt number 3. I did prompt number 2 last month. Prompt number 3 says a new purchase. So for that prompt, I have this book, A Dangerous Beauty, or just Dangerous Beauty by Melissa Coslin. And this one is a very recent purchase for me. And this one has to do with human trafficking. And this woman by the name of Liliana gets caught up in that, and then meeting somebody that helps her. And I know I've heard from several people that they really, really enjoyed this book. So I'm looking forward to this one. So that's for Oshina's. And then the next one is a Christian fiction reading challenge that Books and Jams is putting. Krista from Books and Jams just talked about, and I'll link her video below if you want to check that out. And she talks about how she's going to do that this year and how she's going to split that up over several months. So for February, she chose, it's like a group read for everybody to participate in with her. And I saw that and I thought, that's pretty good. I can do that because it's like I said, spread over several months. And so for February, she's having, if you want to participate in with her, they're going to be reading the Screwtape Letters by C.S. Lewis. So I've always wanted to read this book. I've had it on my shelves for a long time. My husband read it a long time ago, and he's always told me, you need to read it. And so it's been on my TBR this last year, and I never got around to it. And it's a pretty short book. But this book is it is an older book. It's considered a Christian classic. And the premise is a demon that's writing letters to another demon, kind of to give them pointers on how to do things. So it's a really interesting premise. So I'm looking forward to reading this one. And this one's also going to come back into play into one of my other prompts. So I'm going to use that. I'm going to double up on that one. Okay. So those are all. One more. Like I really need one more. Okay, so I didn't talk about this in my January TBR, but there's another yearly reading challenge that I'm going to be doing, and that's put on by Book Mama, and that's her YouTube channel, and her name's Angie. And I kind of followed the one she did last year. I didn't totally complete. I did most of the prompts, but I didn't do all of them. So I'm going to go ahead and do that one too, because her prompts are pretty easy. So for February, she says, just read a book that you got secondhand. And pretty much all my books are secondhand. So, I mean, like the Librarian, I got it at a library sale secondhand. So any of those books that I have will check off that prompt. So that's why I'm going to go ahead and do her challenge, because I can easily double up on those. So there's that one, but I'll link her video below, how in her announcement, and all the prompts that she has for this year. Now, okay, so now that we've got, those are all the, the yearly challenges that I'm doing, and those. And then, so for February specifically, we have a readathon that's being put on by a few ladies, and I've got my notes here because I want to make sure I get everybody. And I have it right here. Tales and Treats with Tay. She's actually the one that is doing it, and then she has some co-hosts. We have Celestria, we have Kat from Cat Stories, and then Krista Cole, and then Katie with Paper Racks and Ponytails, and then Reese with the Writing Songbird. And I'll post all their information below. And I'll also I'll link their videos, because in their videos they give a lot of recommendations. And so the readathon is called Once Upon a February, and it's about like retellings, fairy tale retellings. Now you don't have to do, and they have several prompts, but you don't have to read all the prompts. Don't have to be fairy tale retellings. You can use other books to fill those prompts, but they at least want you to do at least one to participate. And then also, if you read one prompt, if you do one prompt, then you'll get a pixie. You'll be a pixie. If you read 7 prompts, you'll be a princess. If you do all 12, then you'll get the fairy godmother patch, or I don't know what they're doing exactly. I can't remember. But I know that if you do the prompt 1 pixie, I want to be a princess, so I'm going to try for 7. I'm going to, I don't think I can do 12. Well, you never know, but I'm going to at least try for 7 for the princess one. So the first prompt, and I'm going to share all of the prompts and what I could possibly read, but I don't know if I'll get to all 12. So the first prompt is, so the first prompt is Red Rose, red on the cover. And for that one, I'm definitely going to read this one, because I read the first book last month and I want to know what happens. So this one's called Legendary, and it's got the red on the cover. And this is the second book in the Caravel series by Stephanie Garber. And so I'm finally on the bandwagon, very late to the party on this series, but I really enjoyed the first book. And so I checked the second one out from the library, and I'm going to read that one. So that's for that prompt. And then there's a fairy godmother, a gender flipped retelling. And that one, Krista Cole actually gave me this suggestion, and I'm going to be listening to this one on audio, and it's called The Desert Princess by Melanie Sellier. And Krista said it's gender flipped because the girl is not the princess. She's kind of like what Aladdin was. And then she falls in love with the prince. So there's the characters are swapped. But she said it's this really good book. So I'm looking forward to that one. And then the next prompt is Merry Men, a male main character. And for that one, I'm going to read a book called The Rancher Takes His Convenient Bride. And that one's by Shanae Johnson, and it's a Christian fiction. And the reason I chose that was because the premise is an Army Ranger that is going to be setting up a training camp. And I think that's one I'm going to read with my husband. I've talked about how I pick a book and I read it to my husband, and we read it together. And I think that's one that he might like because of the theme of him being a military guy. So that's that one. And then Let me set that aside. The Evil Stepmother, a Notorious Villain. So that's Screwtape Letters, because the demon's a notorious villain. That's how I'm going to count that. So there's that. Pixie Dusk, a magical creature. And so what did I put down for that one? I double up because I know in Narnia they have magical creatures. So I'm using that. And then the next one is Midnight, last book to read. Like, you're the last person to get around to reading what everybody else has been reading. And so for that one, I chose A Match in the Making by Jen Toronto. This one, I think the second book's already out, so I'm way behind. So this one has to do with a matchmaker, I guess. But I've heard that her books are really funny. So, and I really like humorous books. But then, of course, we have the romance in there as well. So that's going to count for that midnight prompt. And then the next prompt is Bluebeard, a lesser known retelling. And this one is called Six Crimson Cranes, and it's by Elizabeth Lim. And I believe Chantel really liked this book. And it's a young adult fairy tale retelling. And it's just really, the cover is really beautiful. So this is another library book that I checked out that I'm going to try to read. It's kind of chunky, but it is young adult, so it shouldn't be that hard to get through that one. So there's that one. And that one's for the lesser known retelling. And then Wolf, Animal Integrity of the Plot. I'm doubling up on that one because I think there's a dragon in this one. I hope. I think I read that somewhere. So that one's going to count for that one too. And then let's see. Musical Voice, a book that incorporates music and singing. And this book, I really am I keep saying I'm looking forward to. I'm going to stop doing that. Okay, so here's another book that has been on my wish list for a long time, and I finally picked it up. It's called The Lost Melody by Joanne Davidson Politano, and she is a concert pianist, so that'll be the music part. But it has to do with her going into an asylum, I believe. But everybody that has reviewed this book has really, really enjoyed it. So that's going to count for the musical voice prompt. As you can see, I've got a lot of books to read if I do all the prompts. And then Long Locks is Girl with the Long Hair. And I think my Librarian, she's got long hair, so that'll count for that. And then Snow Queen on a Quest. This one I may not get around to. This is another library book, but this one's called Hunted. It's another YA fantasy by Megan Spooner. And this one is a Beauty and the Beast retelling, but the girl that's in the book, her name's Yeva, she's actually hunting down the beast. She's hunting down the beast. So I'm considering that going on a quest if I read it. So sounds really interesting. Let me know if you've read this one. It's been around for a while as well. Okay. And then the last one is Thumbelina, and that one is just to read a short book. And so I could use, if I did this one, I could use that one, but I went to my library sale yesterday. Yeah, just yesterday. Or no, maybe not. Yesterday. And I found this one, and it's called Belle, an Amish retelling of Beauty and the Beast. So it's a retelling of Beauty and the Beast, but Amish. And so it says, I'll read the back to you, and it's by Sarah Price. It says, to most townsfolk, he's known simply as the Beast. Now, Annabelle Baylor has little interest in gossip, but she's heard about Adam Hirschberger's scars and his gruff, solitary ways. Though he sounds like a character from one of Belle's treasured books, the man is real, and it turns out just as unreasonable as the rumors claim. When a buggy accident wipes out the last of her dad's money, Forcing him to sell their farm, Adam buys it. Then he offers Belle a deal. Marry him and her family can keep their home. That sounds really good. I just think it's interesting that it's a Amish retelling of Beauty and the Beast. It's pretty original. So, like I said, when I saw that at the library sale, I just got so excited. When you find little finds, 50 cents for a book. So there's that one. And then I've got two more to share, actually. So when I was at the library yesterday, I saw this book, and it's The Frozen River by Ariel Lawhorn, and I've seen a lot of people talk about this on BookTube. I think Gloria Thompson, she is really great at recommending historical fiction. I've got a lot of good recommendations from her, and she was talking about how good this book is, especially during the winter time. And I already started reading it. So I don't know if I might finish this. This might be part of my January wrap up if I get to reading, or I can just finish it. It'll be part of my February TBR, but it's pretty good so far. Okay, the last thing is my jar. I have a video where I posted a bunch of books that I meant to read last year and I didn't get around to doing it. So I put them all in here and I pick one out. I'm going to pick one out every month and try to, make it a priority to read it. And I did January's. I picked January's out and I completed it. So here, I'm picking it out. And I'm hoping it's not a chunker. I've got a bunch of chunkers up there. And I'm for February being a short month. So put that up there. If I had a drum roll. How cool is this? See, it is the Librarian of Boons Hollow. And that's the one that I had already chose from that stack. So I said I could, if one of these books, fit a challenge, fit a prompt, then I would take it off the shelf. I didn't, and then I would, if I picked it, then I'd have already, but look, it's perfect. And you saw I didn't cheat. I actually did pick it out of there. So perfect. I've already chosen it. It's going with our prompt. And yeah, that's the one. Awesome. So up there. So yep. You can't read it. It's backwards. Oh well. But that's the one it is. The Librarian of Boons. Cool. All right. So I think that's it. I mean, that's plenty. How many? 1, 2, 3. Oh, wait. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. 12. Yeah, that's a lot. But a lot of them are short. We got a couple of short ones that Chantel gave us that short book prompt. And then the C.S. Lewis one is really short. And this one's pretty short and it's large print. This one's only 282 pages. I think I can do it. I think I can. Okay, so I think that's it. And then plus, there's more because I have two that I'm doing. Well, one's an audio, so that's easy. So an audio and then a read that I'm reading on ebook or on my Kindle. Okay, so that's a lot. Wow, thank you for sticking around. It's not as long as that I thought it would be. Maybe I talk too fast. I probably do. I need to learn to slow it down. But anyway, so yeah, that's it. That's everything for February. Hopefully you'll join us in Taylor's readathon. Oh, so terrible. Hopefully you'll join us with the fairy tale retelling prompts, and I'll link, like I said, I'll link all their videos below so that you can check them out. They're going to give you great ideas. I haven't read a lot of retellings. I think last year I read maybe one, and it was the one the Western that, oh my goodness, I'm drawing a blank on, oh, it's right here. Karen Whitmire, Fairest of Heart. She did a Snow White retelling in the West, and that was really good. And so I think that was the only retelling. To be honest with you, I never even heard of retellings before I saw somebody else talk about them on BookTube. So I was really, really out of the loop on that. So that is, like I said, that's all the books I have for today. If you make sure you like and subscribe to my channel. Thank you so much for watching today, sticking around for the whole video. And again, if you've read any of these books before, let me know, and let me know what you thought about them. And then happy reading for everybody. I can't believe January is just about over. And then I'll be back later this week to show you all the books I read for this month. And I read a lot of good ones. I really did. So thank you again, and have a blessed day, everyone. Bye-bye.